Okay, cool. All right. Hey, what's up, people? Sorry, I was on the phone like a minute or so late. So we're gonna talk about some of these fighters, and what's coming up in the near future. Let's turn to. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT, or you can refer to me as Miss T. Eric Gomez is in the building. Bomb Squad! Right on, right on. Anywho, how y'all been? We just gonna talk about the upcoming fights. What's going on? Ain't nothing really changed. As I told y'all, coming up, November is more of a hot month. October was a good month, uh, sort of. But November is gonna be a hot month coming up. So we're gonna get into that. Who we about to see coming up? I'm gonna have Coach G on tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll start getting some guests. I met some boxers, some up and coming boxers when I was there in Vegas. I got some videos of them talking to me. However, I'm having technical difficulties. I have to solicit the help of mature, because they better at doing this technology or whatever. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, I wrote some notes down or whatever. So Brian Custer, we all love Brian Custer. That's a fair guy. He's impartial. He can get to the point on you. I like him as a commentator, by the way. So Brian Custer asks Canelo, why does he avoid Andrade? Simple question, right? Why do you avoid Demetrius Andrade, aka Boo Boo? Um, and Canelo gave some weird answers, like he calling him boring. What does boring got to do with the price of tea in China? For real, like what does boring got to do with why you're not fighting somebody? Like, why would any fighter care about what it looked like? The only thing that should be on your mind is securing that belt, i.e., getting the belt up off of your opponent, or securing a pathway to get a belt, racking up wins. That's all you care about. Why do you care what it looked like? These are like what I would call crippling words. Reggie Bell in the building. It's popping, King. What's popping? But as I say, why would you care about what it looked like? The only care you should have, look at that net, is winning. That's the only care. You shouldn't care what it looked like, what somebody got on. That's like saying, you know, I'm not gonna fight him because he always wear green shorts. You be like, what? As if, like, does that matter? That's how I feel. What he said when he said he's a boring fighter. Who made you the authority on what's boring? He might be boring to you, but he's not boring to me. or he might not be boring to somebody else, but you as a fighter come off looking real fishy and real suspect by talking about some shit that does not matter. Shouldn't care what it looked like. You shouldn't care if you born. Well, beat his boring ass. That's what you do. That's the answer to Brian's question. Why are you avoiding Boo Boo Andrade? What's the reason? You know, and that's your answer. He's boring. Okay, let's roll with that then. Okay. Um, he tells Brian that Boo Boo is a horrible fighter and he don't want to fight him. Now, to all y'all Canelo fans, you really can be a fan of this motherfucker when he say shit like that. Let's just look at his flaws. He's a cheater and he's able to get away with it. Check. You can't say he hasn't cheated. And you cannot get mad at anybody if they have the notion that once a cheater, always a cheater. Because that's just how life is. People think like that. So we got him down for cheating. We got him down for ducking. Not just Boo Boo, many people. But when you gotta have a better answer, Canelo. When somebody walks up to you like a commentator and asks you, why are you avoiding someone? The answer should not be because he's boring or he's a horrible fighter. Well, beat his boring, horrible fighting ass. That's the answer. You should get on that real quick. Knock that out the way. You can't say he's not relevant. He has a belt. This is why I say, y'all, it's not good to get into saying that somebody is worthless or a tomato can. And why did this person fight that person? Boo Boo has a belt. We know that Boo Boo can fight. Some of us like him, some of us don't. I don't have a problem. I don't like it's either way. I don't have a problem with Boo Boo. But why would I get in the weeds of calling somebody who has a belt and have had it for years a tomato can? Boo Boo had a couple of belts I think at the 154 division that Canelo squeezed on by and avoided. You mean to tell me, Canelo, you so pressed? Then you talk about legacy to become undisputed at 168. You didn't feel that way about 154. Of course you didn't, because the people you scared to fight had those belts. The people that you avoided back then that you still avoid today had those belts. If you all that, Canelo, why you gotta cheat? If you all that, Boo Boo been begging you, telling everybody but Santa Claus that he want to match with you. We know it's been out there. People's asking for it. People are wondering. Enough so that Brian Custer can ask you a fair question. Brian Custer is not a got you man. He's not, oh, let me clip him up. Let me catch him off guard. That's not Brian Custer. He asks you a relevant, fair question. And your answer is because he's boring and he's a horrible fighter. If that is not proof that he's a duck, I don't know what is. He is a straight duck. He is garbage. And please, I mean, if he trying to go to the Hall of Fame or have some kind of legacy, he might as well have that shit in Mexico. I don't see how this man is on anybody's pound for pound. He just showed you he a piece of crap. He just showed you he ain't about shit. Front row seat to some bull crap. That's what he is. I mean, I don't get that answer. I get upset because I'm like, y'all are like obvious now. Y'all are not even trying to hide it. You just straight up with it. Like he's horrible. He's boring. Yeah, that's what y'all said about Floyd, and Floyd waxed your ass all 12 rounds. That's what boring And horrible fighters look like people you can't beat. And they obvious with it. But yet you'll have some damn Canelo fans out here capping for his ass. I understand people from Mexico because he's their countryman. But yet, y'all so rep your country so much, but this motherfucking ass live in the States. Gotcha. Gotcha. Maybe the Mexicans in the States because he's like them. He's relatable, like as far as being Mexican. Okay. But I can't understand nobody black. And I am making it about race because I feel like he makes it about race. I meet race with race. I meet fire with fire. If he never makes shit about race, I wouldn't even approach him like that. He's fugazi. He's not a pound for pound fighter. He's washed up. He's whack as hell because he needs extra assistance to get him through the rounds. I don't even know how y'all think he's all that or anything. How he's even idolized. He obviously is a duck. He's scared. He ducked Andrade. He ducked Charlo. And he damn sure ducking Benavidez. But he's the face of boxing. Give me a damn break. I hope Caleb Plant whacks his ass. And Caleb, if you ever have an opportunity to go for broke and knock his head off, do it. Because nowadays you can't depend on shit. And as a side note, I did go back and watch some of these videos. And I told y'all, I'm a woman of a particular age. I have a right to change my mind as time go on. I did watch those videos. And look, as far as I'm concerned, at this point, Deontay won yet again. If you call a fight fair, he won. He wins. If you cheat, he loses. And if it take you 15 seconds to get up, 15 is more than 10. You lost. But I can't change their mind. I can't do nothing about it. But I can say and put this out there because what we not gonna do is write history like it didn't happen. This is what I mean, y'all, about consensus writing and revisionist history. If we just be like throw our hands up and act like it didn't happen, guess what? The story they want to tell is going to get told instead of the real story. And the real story has got to always shine brighter than the fake story. I don't know what could come of it. I don't know if Deontay want to take him to court. I really don't know about what's going to happen. I feel like I shouldn't have bet because I was never going to be treated fairly. All of us who betted, even the people that voted for Tyson, we all should get our money back. And I said, and y'all heard what I said. I said the people who voted for Tyson and the people who voted for Deontay, we should all get our money back. But I'm sure the people who voted for Tyson don't want their money back because they got their winnings. But Deontay was the underdog in that one. But I think we all should get our money back. Period. You can't take it back. You can't change it. They're not gonna change the decision. I'm under no illusion that they're gonna do that. But maybe, and I don't know what has to be done. And it ain't gonna be is I'm not gonna have the answer no from lack of trying. I'm that person that will get out and do. Now, if it come back no, then it come back no. But it won't be from lack of trying. That's why I say I always believe when you do something, you put it all out there. You leave everything out there so you don't have no second guessing. So you don't feel like you left well, you could have, would have, should have. I tried to call MGM last night, couldn't get through, wind up falling asleep. That don't mean I ain't call tonight. I'm on it. And if I ever get my money back, you best believe I'm gonna put that out there. Cause video don't fucking lie. Anywho, I'm gonna get out that because I'll be here all day with that one. But Canelo, being boring and a horrible fighter It's not what Brian asked you. It's not an answer. And you as a fighter, that should not be your concern. You what do you care what another fight look like? Half the fights you fight are boring as fuck. They're boring. You want a punching bag to stand in front of you. I haven't seen your last couple of fights except to say I've seen highlights. You know why? Because they're boring. They're boring, Canelo. You pick boring opponents. Y'all have boring ass fights. You don't make as much as they try to claim, and you know you don't. You're not pulling in the bucks. They are making a story. They are loading the story up. You are the heroine in their story. The patricians are writing your story, hoping that all of us lay people are going to pick it up and gobble it up. But we're not stupid. That was a duck answer. And yet again, you showed your true colors as the duck that you are. Um, you saying you don't want to fight him. I'm sure I wish that Brian would have re-asked that question. Why you don't want to fight him? Clearly, it can't be because he's boring or he's a horrible fighter. Why wouldn't you want to fight him? If somebody's boring and that's what you think, then you need to make it exciting. All you gotta do is make it exciting. Why is it always on your opponent to make everything happen? That's crazy. Now that's whack. Canelo also was claiming that Andrade hasn't fought anybody. Well, Canelo, who the hell you fought? Let's go down the list. Off the top of my head, there was Austin Trout, no doubt Trout. Okay, he's somebody. There was Kirkland. He's kind of somebody. What we knew of him. Definitely Floyd. You fought Lara and lost. You lost to Floyd. Hmm. But you can lose and your career ain't over. But Deontay lose, his career is over. I go back to that, but it's just amazed me how some of these black fighters or black people will say that about the champ. Canelo has lost, but it wasn't over for him. But Deontay has lost, but it should be over for him. Make it make sense. I'll move on past that. So who I had Trout, Kirkland, Floyd, for the Miracon. I guess I guess that's somebody big, right? In his young day he was. When you fought him, no. Um Triple G. Um who else? Y'all help me out. Um what I'm just not Googling it. Who else? The fact that I gotta be like, humana, 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 humpback, humpback. The fact that I gotta say that Canelo tells me you ain't for nobody neither. But who? Who are you to talk about who somebody fought? Why is that your job? Why is that in your job description? I should say. You supposed to just fight who's in front of you. Andrade has a belt. Don't you want it? Isn't it about gathering as many hardware as you can? Who else? Oh, you fought Kovalev after Andre dismantled him. So he wasn't nothing at that time. And matter of fact, somebody else was that dude Alvar some sorry with A. Some other guy beat Kovalev um before you got to him. You won't fight Benavidez, and I mean you would not fight him. But soon as that belt drop, here come yo bitch ass swooping in as the duck that you are. PGH Big Dog was popping king. I'm sitting up here, PGH, trying to name off the top of my head without Googling it. Who the hell Canelo fought? Because Brian Custer asked him, why you avoiding Andrade? I'm glad some of these commentators are asking the questions we want to know instead of pussyfooting around people and giving them a pass. And Canelo's answer was simple. He's boring and he's a horrible fighter. As if that means anything. All it did was solidify him as the duck that he is. He avoided Andrade at 154. Now he's avoiding him at whatever weight they land in, 168, 160, whatever. And then he said he hasn't fought nobody. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out who the fuck Canelo fought. They only got like 50 something fights. But who? I'll be pressed to name 10 people of note on his resume. I'll be pressed. If anybody else can do better, let me know. What's up to my Facebookers? Y'all can come in the chat. I've already told you, I always say, stop what you're doing. Go into YouTube, type in Boxing Fans Talk TV, pull up the live chat, and jump in the chat. Say it with your chest. Tell me what you feel. Or you can just call in 706 804 4449. I'm going to make sure these lines are open and flushed out. You know, sometimes my shit did it again. At least I know now to check it. I got the link in the chat if anybody want to beam in. But if anybody can tell me off the top of their head, who have I missed of Canelo opponents? Like, since he want to talk about somebody's resume as to why he not gonna fight this person or fight that person, who the hell he fought? Let us sister know, because I am pressed to know, who the hell was on his resume. Triple G, also Trout, Floyd, Lara. Floyd, you lost. They tried to give you a tie. One bitch did. Lara, you actually lost, but they gave it to you. Triple G, you lost that first fight, but they gave it to you, or they gave you a draw, or whatever. Yeah, who the fuck you fought? Where you can stand up and say somebody ain't fought nobody. We cannot keep letting these guys get away with stuff like that, because they're trying to create a narrative that will justify and validate why they won't do what the fuck they supposed to do, and we can't let them do that. So I'm just ragging on Canelo cheating ass about why he gave that weird ass answer to Brian Custer about why he won't fight Andrade. It just, to me, it solidified the scaredness in this man. You want to be the face of boxing, but you're scared. You're a duck. You're a chicken. You're a duck. You're a combination of them. Chidduck. That what the hell you are. You're a chidduck because you're scared and you're ducking. You're a chicken. Canelo avoided Andrade, like I said, at 154, and that would have made him undisputed. Why he do that, Mr. All that, Mr. Face of Boxing? Um, and like I said, even there, once people drop the belts, he swoops in like a vulture. You know, I think Canelo is whack as hell. I hope Caleb Plant beat the brakes off his ass. And I mean beat the brakes off his ass. And what got me a little hot today is I was sitting there watching that video of that 15-second count. And I know I ain't gonna beat it to death. I want my money back though. I do want my money back. I may not get it back, but I want it back. 15 counts is not 10. If we call shit the way it's supposed to be called, in my opinion, Deontay wins. It's not even in my opinion. It's a fact. If they call shit the way they supposed to, sorry, y'all, my hair is acting weird today. Then Deontay wins. And what I'm supposed to do with that, I put money. I love every dollar I have. Every dollar I have is important. So, and I put three down. So, yeah, pissed about that a little bit, but I'm pissed that they would even take shit like that from somebody. But I'm gonna move on. Canelo, you a ducking ass dude. Mikey Garcia has his fight coming up this weekend. Do anybody care about that? That's coming on the zone. I think it's supposed to air on the 16th. He's fighting somebody named Sandor Martin, Spanish guy. How we feel about that? I personally ain't pressed. You know, he stunned or fronted on Regis Prograis, which he shouldn't have. I don't like that either. I don't like fighters who keep acting like they negotiating to get in the big fight or bringing up people names to spruce their name up and then backing out looking for the back door when it's time to step up. I don't like that. Ryan Garcia's of the world. But Mikey Garcia, as I told y'all before, maybe he is justified. I haven't given his background a cursive read. I haven't really delved deep into what the fuck going on with him. I know, or we all know, that he has some issues with Top Rank. He spent a couple of years out of the circuit from trying to get his stuff straight through the court, and I guess he won his case, and now he's out here. He's on a straight money grab. Now, do y'all think we should support people if that's all that they're doing is going on a money grab? I don't know. Y'all tell me. I can't really get behind a fighter like that. I'm not gonna waste my time and resources on fighters whose main objective is just the money grab. I'm not. You got to give me something in return, and I want to see the best fighting the best. And since everything you do is a money grab, Mikey, why should I give you my money? Why should I help you get rich? Help me help you. Plot a course, stay on the course, fight the best, try to obtain somebody belt, then try to be unified, and then try to be undisputed. And you can get my money, Mikey. But, just because you want the new souped up truck or some new ride, and I don't know what the fuck you do with your money, and I don't care. But I was not born to make you rich, especially when you're not giving me a product that I want to see. Fighting Sandor Martin, somebody I don't know. And I'm almost 99.9% sure that the people in my chat or the people that watch my videos or the people that watch other people's videos know who Sandor Martin is. And if they know, they had to actually recently go look him up. But he is not a notable fighter. I'm not talking bad about him. We don't really know him. But you picked him over Regis Prograis. And you know what? If it was a better business move, again, I don't count nobody money. That's fine and dandy. But it's not my job to make you rich, Mike. If you want me to follow you or real fans to follow you, you need to plot a course that means something that's relevant. Try to become a champion. Try to become unified. Try to become undisputed. Do some shit like that. You might have people buying your shit. But hey, Mikey, if you can score $6 or $7 million off of people like Eddie Hearn for doing nothing, by all means, do what you do, boo boo. We just not really pressed about you. Not over here at Boxing Fans Talk TV. We can't be. You're not relevant. You're just a worker bee trying to get that almighty dollar. I ain't mad at your kid. Um, but I won't help you. The only way I'm gonna help you, you fight somebody relevant. You make an attempt to make it look like you're trying to obtain some kind of goal, like other than money, because you're already rich. Now, I'm the last person to tell you you don't need no more money. But in this boxing game, I'm not following you, and I would tell anybody not to follow you If that's all you're doing is a money grab, that's not helping us. Because even if Mikey beats somebody up, y'all, and he gets in a unique position to go for something great, it's gonna depend on the money with him. If it's too much of a high risk, because you can't really money grab when you have a losing streak, nobody checking for you. So if it's too much of a high risk, Mikey might not take that fight. This is why you don't invest in people like that. They're unreliable and their credibility is shot. I ain't saying it's not cool. He got to get what he got to get. Cool for him. But as for us, the boxing fans, the ones who's coming out the pocket, it's not cool for us. So Mikey's on a money grab tour. Good for him, not for us. So my advice, you don't have to listen to me. Don't pay to see him. Period. So Frank Warren says Joshua shouldn't face Usyk in an immediate rematch. Them British people, man, them UK folks, they crack me up. I read that and I said, why? Why would you say that, Frank? Don't you work with Tyson? Is this subjective? I'm not sure. But why would you care what the hell Joshua do? Are you his manager? If you his manager, I stand corrected. But I don't think you his manager. I'm pretty sure that you work with Tyson Fury. Uh, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I'm thinking you do. So if you work for that guy, why are you trying to throw out advice to another guy? Why shouldn't he fight Usyk if it was in the contract and he activated it? Why shouldn't he fight him? I mean, I'm not no big time Joshua fan because he is another Chaduk. That's my name, Chaduk. Chaduk covers being a chicken, being a punk, being scared, and a duck, avoiding fighters, making up all excuses. He's another Chaduk. AJ is. So it's not like I'm capping for AJ or caking for him. I just find it interesting how the UK folks always got their nose and mouth in somebody else's business, call themselves trying to give pertinent advice or pertinent information or share information when really they got a hidden agenda behind it. If Joshua follows your advice and not get an immediate rematch, then who Usyk gonna fight? Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Alex, I'm gonna go with who is Tyson Fury for $2,000. I mean, it see through, boo, see through. Don't fight him, AJ. Don't fight Usyk. Hopefully you don't fight him, and then you can move to the side, and then we can slide on in and get all those belts because you know that Tyson Fury is too much for Usyk. I'm not saying that Usyk ain't game. That's a real man right there. That's a real champion right there. I don't hate Usyk at all. Loving him to be exact. He not my favorite, but I like how he get down. That's a real man. That's a king right there. But do I think he can do something with Tyson Fury? Nope. Nope. Maybe, but he don't care, and that's what I love about Usyk. He don't care. He'll fight Tyson Fury. He'll fight Deontay. He don't care. He said to himself, "My goal, I'm gonna be undisputed. as a heavyweight. And whoever the fuck I gotta go through to get there is what I'm gonna do. It's what the goings on is gonna be. So you get all these birds chirping on the sideline trying to give unsolicited advice about who their fighters should fight or don't fight. Frank Warren, I stand correct. I stand corrected if you do work with AJ. But I think if you work with AJ, you would have never said that out your mouth. So I really feel that you're being biased for your fighter. And that's not a shock, and I'm not terribly upset, but that's unsolicited advice. You and Eddie have a big problem with doing that. Y'all all over the place giving unsolicited advice and telling people telling statements nobody asked you about. Nobody cares what you think, and you have nothing to do with who you talking about, and you don't have that fighter's best interest at heart. But you always bumping the gums. So that's what Frank Warren had to say. If I was Joshua, I wouldn't do an immediate rematch. Well, if I was Joshua, I would. And apparently it meant something to Joshua because he made sure it was in the contract. So what you talking about, Frank Warren? What you talking about, Willis? What are you talking about? Apparently that means something to Joshua. Sorry, I don't know where to put this book. That's why I said bias much. You caking and capping for fear. That's your guy. I get it. But nobody asked you, Frank Warren. Nobody asked you what you think Joshua should do. If Joshua want that shit ran back, then that's what the fuck he should do. I ain't no Joshua fan, but shit, if he has it in his contract, then that's what the fuck they got to do. Run it back. No fighter should be scared to run it back. And if you scared, then you ain't in the right business. I know sometimes you can get a lucky one, you catch a nugget. I know sometimes you scared you got through by the skin of your teeth. You know what I'm saying? I know it could be like that. But if you're a warrior, you're not gonna be scared to run it back. But a lot of y'all fighters out here are Chaduk. You're a Chaduk. Canelo, you're a Chaduk. Ryan Garcia, you're a Chaduk. You know, I don't even know if I could call Tyson Fury that yet. He's something though. He's fishy, as Kyle from the boxing section say. He's fishy. Definitely that. Who else is a Chaduk? Jojo Diaz, right now you're a Chaduk. There's a couple of y'all out there. But AJ gonna do what AJ gonna do. AJ know his people, they got him. They know what to do. You know, if they don't want the rematch, then it's up to Usyk. Usyk, he's gonna pick who he want to fight. More than likely, it could be straight to Tyson Fury. But as it stands right now, the rematch is gonna be between Usyk and AJ. They got to like March to get it done. I think March is the time they have to be ready to fight. Like they had, they like the fight date should probably be sometime in March. Is what I'm trying to say. And then who else? And Dillian White fights Otto Wallin on October 30th this one. Now normally I wouldn't talk about taco meat, but the only thing that makes him relevant is that he will become the mandatory, or he might be the mandatory right now for the WBC. And depending on who wins this fight, they definitely will be the mandatory for the WBC. So that means that Tyson Fury might have to fight either one of those guys. We know that Wallin pieced Tyson up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Tyson's style could work on Deontay, but it just can't work on others. I don't think Tyson Fury is that great of a fighter. I think he's great at moving for a big man. That's my compliment to him. Not that he this dog or he just all this in the ring. He's a good he's a big dude who can move well, which is rare. And that's his claim to fame. I take nothing from him. He can move well. That means he fundamentally sound in boxing too. But he's not great. I think what amazes us is his big ass doing all that stuff. That is what is amazing. You know, how he carried that around, how he's able to use his weight. And see somebody small like a Usyk, I don't know how that would turn out. If you lean on Usyk, I'm sure Usyk gonna stop by your nuts house and blow the bell up on that. If you leaning on the little guy like that, that's a way to get him up off you. Blow them nuts up. Take the point deduction. But what you don't want to take is him leaning on you all through the fight. I was watching BFTB show. He breaks down the steps of what Wilder should do next, and I gotta agree. That dude is amazing. How he see things and how he breaks things down. He's a little eccentric, but he's amazing. And I can't deny. Like I wasn't even thinking how Wilder should move next. If you guys want to see that, I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but you should go check out his channel. And I think maybe he did this video yesterday, but he breaks down what he think Wilder move is or should be. And I have to agree. I hope Deontay was listening, or whoever who knows Deontay was listening, and get that back to him because I'm totally on board with that. It makes a lot of sense. But again, like I said, you guys can check out his video from yesterday. I tend to try not to repeat what other people say. And I watch, like when I watch other people's videos, I love all of y'all. I watch it the day behind because I never want to hear or see what somebody's saying. And then I come up on here and inadvertently repeat it. Everything I do, I'm doing from scratch, from me. And there will be times when I will overlap with somebody else, but those are coincidences. Those are true coincidences because I don't even watch people shows in real time. So we know, like I said, the winner of Dillian White, and that's the only reason I'm talking about it. Dillian and Otto Wallin, the winner of that will probably be facing Tyson Fury. I don't even want to say probably. And the way Tyson Fury is talking and moving around in these boxing streets, he's probably gonna fight one more time and then he's done. I mean, just based on some of the things he said. Even if you talk to Bob here lately, or you just reading in between the lines of the things that Bob Arum saying, you can see that is a forlorn conclusion. That's probably how it's gonna work out. So then, that's cool. That would be cool. Maybe he ain't got enough because you know what? You can't destroy your body forever and ever and think it's gonna do right by you. Tyson Fury is close. He's like young 30s, but he's 32, I believe. He'll be 33 this year if his birthday hasn't already came. Um, he's at that age where that shit is now gonna catch up with you. All them drugs that you put in your system is gonna beat you the hell down. So he probably know better than anybody else how much he got in his tank to continue this kind of lifestyle, to continue to try to get in the ring with folks. Probably nothing. When you do that type of shit, it lay dormant and then it come back and knock you on your ass when you least suspect it. Oh, he's gonna have problems in his future. What saved him is his youth. But as I always say, time waits for no one. No one. And he knows his time is up. Would I like to see a fourth fight between him and Deontay? Sure. Sure. But I'm tired of, people robbing Deontay. I'm just tired of it. To me, he's the king. Gonna always be the king to this day and tomorrow, infinity and beyond. That's where I stand. But when they do meet up these next few months, when it comes to the heavyweights, I'm sure it'll be interesting. I believe Usyk will still beat AJ. AJ is not like he don't have a chance. He may come back. He did it once with Andy Ruiz. That might be AJ thing. Drop, like he just, AJ just got to be in the mood to fight, I guess, on any given day. And based on his mood and how he feel, whether he can win or lose the fight, but AJ is in no competition. He is not even competition for the king, Deontay Wilder. So that's straight up right there. But AJ might win those belts back, and if he win those belts back, he may have to fight the winner of Dillian and Tyson. And what I like about the Tyson and Dillian fight is it really is mano a mano. It really is cheater to cheater. Dillian is not above cheating, and he's a black man who could box. Tyson Fury is not above cheating, and he's a white man who can box. Why does race matter? I don't know. You have to ask Tyson. Why does he do extracurricular shit, especially when he fighting men of color? You have to ask him. But I'm sure he's gonna do all the extracurricular that he got to do. But Dillian ain't no fool. Dillian gonna do it too. And Eddie Hearn gonna cap and cake for Dillian, as Bob gonna cap and cake for Tyson Fury. And we're gonna see two cheaters meet in the middle of that ring, and we're gonna see who's the victor. So that's the only thing that makes that whole fight interesting. And I don't know much about Otto Wally. I know he hurt Tyson Fury, so maybe he does that stuff too. I don't want to put the jacket on him. I don't know him. I'm telling you, I don't know. But by him even getting close enough to do what he did, I said, I wonder. But cheater to cheater, have at it. Have at it. I wouldn't pay to see it, but I know the boxing guy is going to upload that to YouTube and we'll get to see it. Shout out to my Facebookers if you watch it. 706-804-4449. That's 706-804-4449. Anybody in the chat who want to call in, if you want to beam in, I put the link in the chat. Tomorrow we're gonna have Coach G up in the building, and we're gonna have Grown Woman Talk, as I try to do every Friday. We're gonna have, I think one of my homegirls might be coming in, who y'all haven't met yet. We're gonna have an interesting topic. I usually don't put it in the thumbnail, but you men are welcome to be there, chime in, learn us. Learn us. When I say learn, I'm being funny. I know that doesn't make sense grammatically, but I'm saying learn, like teach us something, learn us something. That's what I'm saying. In case y'all was wondering, every now and then I like to butcher the language just on fun. So don't take me too seriously. I'm not done with the information. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. Look, my cord's getting caught up. That's when I butterfinger and pull everything down. Y'all like my hat? No fucks given. None. It's bright yellow too. This jacket has yellow in it. I wanted to go with the jacket. I thought it was cute. uh, so it's possible that T.O. versus Cambosa might be slated for November 13th. We have David Benavidez and them fighting that day. Now, I got to go back and look to see, is that a top rank event? David Benavidez and Uzcategui? If so, then throw T.O. and them motherfuckers on it. Just throw them on there. Like, but this is Eddie Hearn. He won the bid. As we know, Triller dropped the ball, so Eddie got the bid. And Eddie is fumbling around with November, December. And I think Eddie is going to go ahead and rock with November. This is more like a tentative date. We'll know more in the near future. We know that if Eddie get involved, he's gonna make sure it happens. Um, what we feel is that they need to hurry up. That's the consensus of everybody. Y'all need to hurry up, get this over with. T.O. is not fighting Lomachenko, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't give his ass a rematch neither, because he doesn't like giving rematches. So fuck him. He doesn't get one. That's how I would see it. But it's a forlong conclusion. And like I said, read between the lines, y'all. Every time you hear Teofimo Jr. talk, that's Teofimo's dad, and Bob Arum and others talk. You hear, read the tea leaves. T.O. is moving up. He's moving up real soon to 140. And if he's gonna move up, that means he's gonna drop the belts. It's good for the 135 because then Devin and others can go for other belts other than WBC. Stop just staying in that one pathway. Move around within your division, that is. So T.O. gonna drop them belts after he done with Kambosos. If Kambosos don't beat him, T.O.'s gonna drop them belts, and he automatically gets to go against Josh Taylor. Now that's a fight everybody want to see. That's a pay-per-view fight, and we all want to see that one. So right now, we like hurry up and get this shit out the way. Get this shit out the way. Bob has already spoke on it, saying basically, doesn't sound like T.O. wants to fight Lomachenko. I can't make him fight him. Cool. Get the Kambosos thing out the way. Drop your belts. Take your ass up to 140. Fight Josh Taylor. May the best man win. We'll see. I think that fight between Josh Taylor and T.O. is not 100% going Josh Taylor's way. I don't know right now what percentage I would give T.O. Josh Taylor is an excellent fighter and will go to the Hall of Fame. Um, but I feel like he has a chance too. I don't know if it's 50-50. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know if it'll be 50-50. I don't know if it would be 60-40. I just don't know. I'm not sure. Um, Sean Porter questions, will Deontay be the same after this loss? I'm not understanding this. Here's another fighter. Now I usually don't call Sean Coon. And oh, by the way, I have not talked about the Charlos cooning yet again, but I don't want to. For me, that was it. You know, when Charlo fights come up, y'all gonna have to do the show for me, or y'all gonna be running the show because I'm not watching his fights. I don't care, and I don't want to see him again. Talking to Jamel Charlo, I don't care if he be undisputed or what. I really don't care. And I don't know. I have to look into it, but I think it was. I know that the Caleb Plant and the Canelo fight. There's never been an undisputed there, but I wonder, has there been undisputed with 154? I can't remember. But anywho, I really don't care what happened to Charlo. I'm not even gonna really get into it. Maybe one day I'll feel like talking about it, but it's pointless. You don't like Deontay, that's fine. You don't have to like him. I was a Deontay fan and I was your fan. And now I'm rocking with the king to this day. Bomb squad all day. I'm not with Lions only. I'm done. I don't care what y'all do. I don't wish nothing bad on y'all. Y'all are great fighters. I give you that. Hopefully you'll keep winning. I'm saying, as for me, you get not another dime. No fucks given. Not anymore. Not anymore. That man does nothing to you. He does nothing nefarious to none of y'all. And why y'all don't dislike him, I don't know. And it doesn't matter to me. I'd rather hang with somebody who has integrity or be a hanger on of somebody who has integrity and has honor. That means something to me. Honor, courage, and commitment. Something Deontay Wilder exemplifies in abundance. Something you guys do not. So, I let everybody else talk about Charlos. But Sean, I'm shocked at you. I'm shocked that you would even go there. Now, Sean, I'm not gonna get on you too hard, Sean, because you have a podcast, and we're having a podcast. What you gonna talk about? Should nothing be off limit? You're free, freedom of press in a sense, free to talk about whatever you want to talk about. But Sean, there's a time and place for everything. I need to play that Kenny Rogers song. Play, Sean. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You know that one, Sean? That's how I feel. You should know when to hold them and fold them. Right now, you're at the precipice of fighting somebody who's a top tier fighter in Terrence Crawford. You should be worried about nothing and nobody but Terrence Crawford. But you take time out your day to say what you say because the man lost to one person. You lost to Kell Brook. You lost to Spence. You lost to Thurman. And I don't know who else you lost. But when it came to the top tier fighters, you lost. And you never hold your belts long, ever, enough to get what title defenses like Deontay has. You never do. But you will say, and you're supposed to be a top tier fighter as well. But you're gonna put out under your umbrella, under your brand, that this man who lost one fight, lost two fights technically to the same person, that he shouldn't fight no more. You don't know if he could come back. And I'm supposed to take that in what kind of way, Sean Porter? You walking that line, buddy. You are walking that line. Um, Wilder got pending surgery, y'all, on his hand and knuckle, and he was suspended by Nevada State Athletic Commission for the KO until April. And I just want to be clear with that to any of my Facebookers that's watching, or any of the people that watch me that are casuals, because I talk to them, I talk on their level and up. Um, Whenever you get cut or knocked down, sometimes that can delay you getting back in the ring. It depends on the state you fight in. Like for instance, if you get a cut, you don't even have to be hurt. But the fact that you got a cut, you're sitting out for 3 months. So it's their rules. So when some of these people trying to make hay out of the fact that he's suspended, 'cause I've seen some of these titles, and Wilder haters gonna do what Wilder haters do. But I just want for the people who watch it through me to understand that that's normal procedure. He was supposed to get suspended for a knockout like that. He should, have to sit down, for a tick or two. Um, he didn't get a cut, but he was swollen, he was bleeding, but it was a serious knockdown, and that's how they do it. It's for the fighter's safety. It has nothing to do with nothing that he did wrong, nothing that Tyson did wrong. That's just normal procedure. But when you have fighters out there like a Sean Porter who said what he said, that doesn't make sense to me. Now I'm really hoping that Bud teach you a lesson. You need to get a whipping. You need a whipping, Sean Porter. You need to get a whipping. And Bud Crawford is the guy who's going to give it to you. You need a whipping. And maybe when you lose to that guy, you need to sit your ass down and never come back. How about that? That part. You don't say that about somebody. Why do y'all speak on behalf of him? Y'all don't even try to get to know him Y'all don't even try to be his friend. Y'all don't even try to do none of that shit. But you always bumping the gums about what this man should do in public. And you know that you as a fighter, your words carry weight. And you talking from a position of expertise because you are a professional fighter. So somebody casual listening to you will be like, when none of that shit makes sense. If it don't apply to you, then how in the hell do it apply to him? That's my problem with all this. Like, what are y'all doing? If y'all want to talk about this man, get to know him. Break bread with him. Shake his hand. Look him in the eye. Talk to the man before you come out and try to have opinions. You don't make an effort to do any of that with this man, but you always got something to say. Always got something to say. And you ain't blind. That's right. I said it. You ain't blind. You see the 15-second count. You saw he was knocked unconscious in the first fight. So what we talking about? Because he lost a fight? Do y'all follow your own logic? Don't say no shit that you ain't even trying to do yourself. Balance them scales. You know what I'm saying? Be fair. Again, Sean, you got a podcast. I know you out there, you got to talk. But do you really think that was fair in your assessment? If it's not applicable to you, then how in the hell is it applicable to him? That's what I want to know. So slow your roll, Sean. Um, and last but not least, Bob Arum. He's funny. Remember, I tell y'all, Bob is old now. Y'all got to give him a pass on a lot of stuff he do. You do, but you don't. You just speak on it. He's 90. Once you get in your 90s, it's no, to me, charging them people up. You do correct them, but you got to be like, oh, well, that's Bob. Bob warns Eddie to tell Dillian White to watch out for Wallin, because he's not just no Swedish meatball. Bob don't know what Tyson would do next, but sounds like he is not pressed for the fight with Dillian. Is Bob saying all this shit out of concern for Dillian? No. He knows that Dillian is a cheater. He knows that Dillian is a cheater, like his boy Tyson Fury. And Dillian gonna give as good as he get. Dillian at times don't. I ain't gonna say at times. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You don't have no honor, sir. Neither one of them. And so, I have a friend that always said, "Let everybody cheat, and that way to be fair." Well, this is one of those moments. If Dillian White wind up winning Otto Wallin against Otto Wallin, and he wind up having to face Tyson Fury, that's cheater against cheater, mano a mano. You get your wish, active activists. They both get to cheat. Now we're gonna see who the best man. Which one of them gonna be the best man that night? Bob knows in a situation like that, Tyson loses because in a fair situation, Tyson loses to people like Dillian, probably to AJ, definitely to Deontay. In a fair situation, now he cheating and his opponent cheating, who happens to be a black dude too, which I think Tyson Fury has a problem with, and Bob knows it, and so that's why Bob is like, "Be careful." But I don't know what he telling him to be careful. What can change? I don't know what Bob. Maybe like I said, Bob is older. I don't know what he mean by telling Eddie, "Watch out, watch out for what the fight is set." Ain't shit Eddie can do. Eddie can make the fights, but he can't fight for you. But it's a beautiful match. The cheaters to come together and collide. That's a beautiful thing. I'm here for all that shit. Give no fucks. No fucks given. So in the end, I'm gonna have more to say tomorrow. I can't wait for grown woman talk. Um, just waiting on the queens, to tell me a topic. Like I said, sometimes I want to put the topic out there early, but then again, I just like to do it off the cuff. We don't rehearse nothing. We talk exactly what we thinking. Y'all getting us real. Um, Coach G will be here. I will talk a little boxing in the beginning. I want Coach G's opinion on what has happened lately. I'm gonna try to get him on once a week, so that should be an interesting show. And I want to thank y'all for calling. Last call for alcohol. Last call for alcohol. Anybody from Facebook or the chat who wants to call in, let us sister know. Last call for alcohol. Anybody? Going once. Oh, you guys, I did a new ending. I hope y'all enjoy. Peace. Remember, when y'all know better, you'll do better. When I know better, I do better. And I love learning from you guys. And that's why I love doing this show. So you guys can teach me something all the time. Sometimes y'all say something I never heard of. And I don't care about life, about anything. So when you know better, you do better. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.